Hello, my name is Alejandro Saucedo, and this is The New Tradition, a digital concert bringing color to the Great White Way, and I will be your host for the evening. Thank you so much. Y'all are too kind. Thank you all for joining us tonight. I was very excited to get all these people together and all of you together to just have a night of theater and a night of fun and a night where we can make a statement to the American theater that people of color belong everywhere. As leads, as supporting actors, in the chorus, backstage, in the casting room, in the creative team, everywhere. We belong everywhere. And I'm so glad that you guys are here to listen to our plea and to just have fun with us tonight. So the way tonight is going to work, which of course we're going to have some performances, and intermingled with those performances, we're going to have some Zoom interviews with people in the show and just talking about our experience with theater and each of our call to action, because of course the call to action can be generalized for everybody, but everyone has a different life. Everything has different things that make up their background. So they all have different things to fight for. And I think giving each of them a voice is just the best thing we can do right now, and a thing that I'm proud to do tonight. I thank you all for being here, and we're about to go into the first set of performances. So let me get those applause going. Oh my God, you're doing good. Thank you. I will see you on the other side, and please enjoy all the performances.
Once I was hopeful, thought we were one. Life less than perfect, finally begun. But now I wonder, are we undone? I want to treasure you in death as well as life. I want to cut you in my love and with my knife. But can I live as your tormentor and your wife? When I am crazier than you, I'm crazier than you, and nothing up till now has proved me wrong. I'm crazier than you, that's just the overview. So get on board or simply move along.
I'm not impulsive.
Yet I truly love you.
I'm not deranged.
Never asked that of you.
But in this moment, I feel life's changed. I want to climb Mount Everest, go to Mozambique. I want to be impulsive, want to be unique. Can you believe I mean it when you hear me shriek? I'm crazier than you, I'm crazier than you, and now I'll prove to you exactly how. I'm crazier than you, I'll do what you can do. From here on in I give my solemn vow.
Let the arrow from its quiver, take in your hand, be brave.
Pierce the apple, not the liver, or we're dancing on my grave.
Place it in the bow and steady.
Can't you shoot that thing already?
I wanna demonstrate that fear is my ideal.
Girl, believe me, fear is your
So the moment that
ideal.
you're frightened, life is real.
Then my fear must be real, and in a flash when I release and seal the deal. I'm crazier than you, I'm crazier than you, and nothing hurts me when I hear you say I'm crazier than you, psychotically into, and that is all I need to face the day. I'm crazier than you, I'm crazier than you, and live or die I'll let you have control. I'm crazier than you, so say you love me too. From here on in you're singing to my soul, my soul.
There's a grief that can't be spoken. There's a pain goes on and on. Empty chairs at empty tables. Now my friends are dead and gone. Here they talked of revolution, Here it was they lit the flame. Here they sang about tomorrow, and tomorrow never came. From the table in the corner, I could see a world reborn, and they rose with voices ringing, and I can hear them now, the very words that they had sung became their last communion on that lonely barricade at dawn. Oh, my friends, forgive me that I live and you are gone. There's a grief that can't be spoken, as a pain goes on and on. Phantom faces at the window, phantom shadows on the floor, empty chairs at empty tables, where my friends will meet no more. Oh, my friends, don't ask me what your sacrifice was for. Empty chairs and empty tables, where my friends will sing no more.
We are here with Gabriel Woodard, Nijel Smith, and José Ruíz-Gonzalez. Everybody clap. All right, so I'm going to start with just asking how everybody is. We'll start with Gabe. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, to be honest with you. Just chilling at home, but I'm ready to go back to school.
Definitely. Nijel, how you feeling?
Same here as well. Everything's pretty good. I was confused as to whether I wanted to stay or go, but my grandparents have let me make the decision by their actions that I need to go. So I'm out of here.
How about you, Jose?
Me, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Just hanging out with the family. Just enjoying the last couple of days I have here at home, but I'm ready to go back, and hopefully it turns out to be a good, safe semester for everyone.
Oh, yeah. Definitely with everything moving online, we have to. I remembered back when I was little, that's how I would see all the theater performances and how I would see everything that I kind of look up to and try and emulate. First question, what would be your little kid video that you would go back to and look at and that maybe you still look at now? We'll start with Gabe.
I don't really know if it's a little kid video, because I got into theater a little bit late, but a video that still pulls at my heart a little bit is the Hamilton cast performing One Last Time at the White House right before Barack Obama left office. It still gets me a little emotional, and it gives a lot more meaning to the song, you know.
What about you, Nijel?
I definitely don't really have one, I guess, as a little kid, because I started theater young, but I didn't really start doing research and looking at other videos until middle school, high school, and I started to realize I really wanted to do it. But one thing, I guess, that holds sentimental value from when I was a kid is the cast of The Wiz, when they did The Wiz Live. Growing up with that movie when I was younger, it was just so cool with my mom, just the memories of just doing that. And then realizing that it was a show, and then seeing the show and then hearing Amber Riley's voice, it's something, a whole other experience. And something about, I was like Neo, but then hearing him sing, What Would I Do If I Could Feel, is just a whole other experience. So I guess I'd say that I tend to go back and listen to them a lot.
What What about you, Jose?
I don't really have a video as a kid, like, a video that I would watch when I was a little kid. I did start theater at a really young age, but I just didn't really watch theater stuff. You know, uh, but I mean, I know it's really recent. When Hamilton came out on Disney Plus, like I've been watching that a lot. And I was actually I was pretty late to like to the Hamilton hype train. I wasn't really that into it in the beginning just because like everyone was talking about it and I was like, oh my gosh, like shut up. But then like the touring cast came to San Antonio, and my mom bought tickets for me and her. She's like, let's like let's go see it. And I was like, sure, whatever, fine. And it was amazing. It was, I mean, it was really amazing. I liked it. And then it came out on Disney Plus, and like it just reminded me of like how much how amazing that show is, the music, all the diversity on stage. So yeah, I'm really glad that's on Disney Plus for everyone to watch.
Oh yeah. What would be one thing that you'd want, maybe leaders in American theater or just people that you've worked with that maybe did something that kind of wasn't okay at the time, or anything that you just want to get off your chest, because this is a moment where everyone's listening to us, hopefully, and where we have this platform that we can just say something that we want changed in the American theater moving forward. So what would be your one thing? And we're gonna do a little crazy. We're gonna go with Nigel first this time.
I think one thing, I saw it online, and it was one of those things where it was like, that's everything I felt, but hadn't thought to say or hadn't thought that that's how I felt, which was availability, I guess, or understanding. And that's that not a lot of people have a lot of opportunities near them. I know I had to transfer schools just to be able to do shows other than during the summer. My old high school, they only had things for seniors. And I was like, well, if I want to do this for my life, I can't go 4 years without doing shows. And in my new hometown, even then, we have a drama program, but even then, it still just didn't feel like enough. And there wasn't enough for me to also see theater as well, let alone be in it. And so just being in a small town and not having the same opportunities as other people as well, it's that understanding of, you have these kids that have all these opportunities, have all this training and things and whatnot, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they need to be counted out.
Yeah, because I remember looking like in high school, and I would look at other theaters and just see what they had. And there's just like one thing there's just constant things knocking you down.
Yes.
Where you have to, people of color in theater have to be super like, we really want to do this, because if not, it will literally break you down to not want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're all here is like a miracle in itself, because there's so much that goes against you. And so that really sucks. Let's change that.
Yes.
All right, Jose, let's hear what you got to say.
Yeah, I guess I just want to when it comes to auditioning for a show, or just like a part that I want to play just in general, I'm always like, oh, but it's usually like I don't fit the role look wise, because it's always been played by white person. So I'm always like, I don't know if I'll be a good fit for the role, or I don't think I'll be casted. I don't think I'll be casted in that role because the person's white, or the name is white, or it's usually, or like the name is usually like, for like a white person. So and I just hate, like, I don't know, that's just not a good feeling, and it shouldn't be a feeling that I should have, feeling like I'm like in a box, that I'm only allowed to play these certain roles that are either for a Hispanic person, or roles that that doesn't really specify a race. But there's a lot of the roles out there are for white people, or have been played by white people, and white people still keep getting casted in those roles. So I'm tired of being in this box. I want, and I feel like I can speak for many others, like I want to be seen more than just the color of my skin. They can see my talents, my acting talents. They can, I'm diverse, but I'm also diversely talented. I can play other stuff. So it's getting really irritating, and I just want to be able to play other stuff, other roles, experiment, and not feel like there are obstacles because of the color of my skin. Yeah.
Period. Gabriel, what you got to say?
So first, I want to say continue to be allies and continue to educate yourself and to advocate for us and what we struggle with and believe in. I know that we've gotten a lot of support, but we've proven that our voices can only go so far, no matter how loud we yell or how quietly we do. So continue to be allies for us and to advocate for us. And then second thing I want to say is that if you want to feature people of color in shows, you don't have to pick shows that have roles of that race or like black roles or a black show or anything like that.
Mhm.
You can just pick shows that have roles that don't need a specific race. I wish there was a more eloquent way to say that, but it is what it is. You don't have to pick shows that highlight one role or fall into all the stereotypes of certain races or ethnicities or anything like that. Just pick shows that feature characters who or in which the race doesn't matter.
Thank you guys for meeting with me today to do this little, and for being a part of this concert, because I'm like, y'all are all very talented, and so it's fun to be like, well, now we get to make our own little showcase and be like, look at us. We're not in the back row. We're not doing anything. This is just our moment to do whatever we want, which we should get a lot more of going forward. So thank you all for making time, and another round of applause. Yeah, I can hear it through the screens. Y'all are clapping so loud. Oh my God. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next portion of the online concert. Ooh, we're fading out. We're fading out. We're going somewhere else. Oh. There are giants in the sky. There are big, tall, terrible giants in the sky. When you're way up high and you look below at the world you've left and the things you know, a little more than a glance is enough to show you just how small you are. When you're way up high and you're on your own in a world like none that you've ever known, where the sky is lead and the earth is stone, you're free to do whatever pleases you, exploring things you never dare, cause you don't care when suddenly there's a big, tall, terrible giant at the door. A big, tall, terrible lady giant sweeping the floor. And she gives you food and she gives you rest, and she draws you close to her giant breast, and you know things now that you never knew before. Not till the sky. Only just when you made a friend and all, and you know she's big, but you don't feel small. Someone bigger than her comes along the hall to swallow you for lunch. And your heart is lead and your stomach stone, and you're really scared being all alone. And it's then that you miss all the things you've known in the world you've left, and the little you own. The fun is done. You steal what you can and run, and you scramble down and you look below, and the world you know begins to grow. The roof, the house, and your mother at the door. The roof, the house, and the world you never thought to explore. And you think of all the things you've seen, and you wish that you could live in between, and you're back again, only different than before. After the sky, there are giants in the sky. There are big, tall, terrible, awesome, scary, wonderful giants in the sky.
Why does Saigon never sleep at night? Why does this girl smell of orange trees? How can I feel good when nothing's right? Why is she cool when there is no breeze? Vietnam, you don't give answers, do you, friend? Just questions that don't ever end. Why, God? Why today? I'm all through here, on my way there's nothing left here that I'll miss, or send me now a night like this. Who is this girl in a rusty bed? Why am I back in a filthy room? Why is her voice ringing in my head? Why am I high on a cheap perfume? Vietnam. Hey look, I mean you no offense, but why does nothing here make sense? Why, God, show your hand? Why can't one guy understand? I've been with girls who knew much more. I've never felt confused before. Why me? What's your plan? I can't help her. No one can. I liked my memories as they were, but now I'll leave remembering her. When I went home before, no one talked of a war. What they knew from TV didn't have to do a thing for me. I went back and re-up Shaw, so I got us corrupt. It felt better to be here driving for the embassy. Cause here if you can pull a string, a guy like me lives like a king, just as long as you don't believe anything. Why, God? Why this face? Why such beauty in this place? I liked my memories as they were, but now I'll leave remembering her. Just her.
Green finch and linnet bird, nightingale, blackbird, how is it you sing? Oh, can you jubilate, sitting in cages, never taking wing? Outside the sky waits beginning, just beyond the bars. How can you remain staring at the rain, maddened by the stars? You sing anything? How is it you sing? Green finch and linnet bird, nightingale, blackbird, how is it you sing? Whence comes this melody constantly flowing? Is it rejoicing or merely harrowing? Are you discussing or fussing or simply dreaming? Are you crowing? Are you screaming? Ring a dove in
We are here with Jaden Lewis and Larissa Marks. Everybody clap. Great job. That's good. All right. So, Jaden, how you been holding up?
You know, I'm all right. Just recently got a new puppy. So I've been up with him pretty much every night at like 2 a.m. to take him out so that he can go to the bathroom. So I'm tired, but you know, we're surviving.
New mom. Love that. Larissa,
Teen mom, everybody.
what have you been up to, Larissa?
Nothing much. Just sort of chilling, playing Minecraft and Terraria. And that's been my life for like the past couple of weeks. Living the dream. Yeah.
Getting to do whatever we want. We stand unemployed, but it's okay. We're making it through. So everybody is in the house watching a lot of YouTube, watching a lot of online performances like this one. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. And I know I personally had to look at a lot of YouTube videos and expose myself to theater that way because I wasn't rolling in theater money and rolling in theater experiences when I was growing up. And so I'm wondering if there was something when you were little or even now that you watched and you were inspired by or that you keep going back to. We'll start with Jaden.
Okay, so when I was little, I was really, really obsessed with West Side Story. And so to this day, I'm really, really obsessed with West Side Story. But the thing that I used to come back to all the time was Legally Blonde, specifically the recording that MTV did, and Haley Duff was the backstage host or whatever like that. I watched that on repeat so much, like so much. I watched that so much. I know all the songs. Too bad I can't be a Black Elle Woods because that would be it.
Says who?
Says who?
Who? Who says who? Says who?
And a 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. Wait, did you watch The Search for Elle Woods as well?
Yes. Yes. You have to watch The Search for Elle Woods. That's what you watch when you have nothing else to do. You watch The Search for Elle Woods.
It's true. That's me, but with the Company documentary. That's what I go back to all the time. So I just love the passive aggressiveness of Stephen Sondheim and the people the people putting it together. It's the best. What about you, Larissa? What did you used to look up to when you were little?
Back in the 6th grade, my theater teacher on one of our like little days off showed us a recording of Angela Lansbury and Sweeney Todd doing Worst Pies in London. And as like this emo little 6th grader, I was just super hyped about this show with like cannibalism and like murder and darkness and despair. I was so hyped about that. And her performance, of course, was freaking amazing. It was wonderful. She's a fantastic actress. And yeah, that was one of the first videos of like any performance I had ever watched, period. And it really inspired me and excited me about theater. So yeah, that'd have to be it for me.
I want each of you to give me one specific thing that you want to say to the American theater right now. Could be anything. Could be things you want changed, things that you don't appreciate, things that you love. Could be a mix of all those things. I just want one statement from each of you, for anyone watching.
Probably decrease the prices of Broadway shows, like the tickets. And like I know because theater has become over the past couple of years $1 billion industry. It just has. And you know, I've been fortunate enough to be in a family who when we want to see a show, we've been able to see a show. But not everybody can do that. Not everybody can just, you know, I was born in Pennsylvania, so we used to go to New York all the time and go see a show. But not everybody can go to New York and see a Broadway show because they're expensive. And if you live here in California, that's really expensive because then you have to think about a plane ticket. You got to think about hotel and then your ticket itself. So I think just making it, you know, more accessible for kids who want to do this as a career. Because at the end of the day, when you think about casting and why they're casting that way, it's because of the donors that are donating to these theaters and putting these shows up and stuff, because they're the ones who can afford it. So that's who they're trying to please. So I think it's just making it more accessible and getting more people of color on your donors list. They're out there. Go get them.
Yeah. I would have to say, I guess sort of like adding on to that, I personally, because of money and stuff like that, I've never seen a Broadway show in person, ever. Just haven't had the financial means to. So a lot of my theater experience has been on a more local level. Or like when I go like travel to see my grandparents, I go see shows with them, like out in like Oceanside, California, Escondido, California, whatever. But still, those are like local, like little community shows. So that being said, I think representation matters on like all levels of like the theater spectrum, whether you're a community theater, regional theater, whether it's straight up Broadway, whatever. I think representation matters. And I think people of color should be represented in all those facets, like everywhere in every single theater in America, period.
But thank you guys for being here and for doing this with me, because we need, now is the time that we need to step up. And I'm glad that I have talented friends and that we have this circle that we can talk to each other about all this kind of stuff, and that we can have outsiders look in and learn from us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Here we go. Now we're gonna fade out. We're gonna fade. Oh, we're gonna fade out. Ooh.
I sit and watch the rain and see my tears run down the window pane.
I sit and watch the sky and I can hear it breathe a sigh.
I think of him, how we were,
and when I think of him, then I remember
in his eyes I can see where my heart longs to be.
In his eyes I see a gentle blue, and that's where I'll be safe, I know.
Safe in his arms, close to his heart.
But I don't know quite where to start.
By looking in his eyes, will I see beyond tomorrow?
By looking in his eyes, will I see beyond the sorrow that I feel?
Will his eyes reveal to me promises or lies?
But he can't conceal from me the love in his
I know every
eyes.
look, his
Like an
eyes,
open book, his
and most
eyes
of all, the look that
hypnotize me.
if I'm wise, I would walk away and gladly.
But sadly, I'm not wise. It's hard to tuck away the memories that you prize.
Love is worth forgiving for.
Now I realize
Everything worth living for is there in his eyes. Love is worth forgiving for. Now I realize
everything
I grew up on the sly, in the gutters, in the streets of Petersburg. Just a kid on the fly, getting good at getting by in Petersburg. I've bartered for a blanket, stolen for my bread, learned to take my chances and use my head. A Russian rat is clever, clever, or he ends up dead. Boils down to there are some who survive, some who don't, some give up, some give in. Me, I won't, black and blue. Welcome to my Petersburg. Standing here, you can see from the spires to the piers of Petersburg. I'd be down on that quay, selling stolen souvenirs of Petersburg. The palaces above and alleyways below. Funny when a city is all you know, how even when you hate it, something in you loves it so. That's where I learned my stuff, in some rough company. There's a boy growing up who was me, all I've been, all I'll be. We can do what we're told, we can go where we're led, but I learned from my father to see what's ahead. Nothing here to hold me, no one that I owe. Funny how a boy can grow. Funny how a city tells you when it's time to go. Boils down to there are some who have walls yet to climb. You and I on the fly, just in time. But tonight there's a sky and quite a view. Welcome to my Petersburg.
There are worse things I could do than go with a boy or two. Even though the neighborhood thinks I'm trashy and no good, I suppose it could be true. But there are worse things I could do. I could flirt with all the guys, smile at them and bat my eyes, press against them when we dance, make them think they stand a chance, then refuse to see it through. That's a thing I'd never do. I could stay home every night, wait around for Mr. Right, take cold showers every day, and throw my life away on a dream that won't come true. I could hurt someone like me out of spite or jealousy. I don't steal and I don't lie, but I can feel and I can cry, a fact I'll bet you never knew. But to cry in front of you, that's the worst thing I could do.
We are here with Tychelle Bearden and Arielle Roberts. Everybody clap. First thing I'm gonna ask, how you doing, Tychelle? How's it going?
I've been doing great. Quarantine has been treating me well, so.
Well, how about you, Arielle?
Likewise, I've been staying busy, like for whatever reason these past few weeks. Busy, but it's a good thing.
Definitely. No, I'm just glad to see y'all on the interwebs. I haven't seen y'all in forever.
I know. I can't wait to be back.
And just like it's fun because we were like here on the internet, using the internet, using that as my segue to the first question. What were videos that you went back to when you were little, or even now that you look at and find inspiration from and all that kind of stuff in theater and everything like that? Arielle, we'll start with you.
Sure. I kind of thinking about it, I kind of have like two in mind. So I am a late bloomer when it comes to theater and finding my love for it. And all up until my junior year where I really began to immerse myself in theater. And so that was also the time where you had to start looking at colleges. And so when I was, trying to do my research, thinking about, oh, can theater actually be something you go to college for, to school for, get a degree in? I stumbled across, Michigan's senior entrance video, the 2018, class of 2018 version. And when I tell you, that kind of lit a fire under me, because with it, they basically parody a bunch of Broadway songs, and they welcome the incoming freshmen, and they take you through the whole process of admissions up until graduation, just making you feel all the emotions and just jitters that I felt before, that many people in theater have probably felt before if they decided to go through the university path. And I have yet to have, since I haven't graduated and not having to scramble for jobs yet. But it's just so clever and entertaining. And so I always, at least once a year I'll watch that video to remind me of, how I felt in the beginning. But another one is this young arts performance by Michaela Diamond, sorry. And it's a performance of I Don't Care Much from Cabaret. And when I tell you, this woman's vocals are chilling. They send chills down my spine. And I just dream to have that much control of my voice one day.
Awesome, yeah. What about you, Tychelle?
Yeah, kind of like Arielle. I've been kind of new to the theater thing. I will say I have done it throughout my life. However, I will say recently in high school is when it started getting more and more serious. So that's also kind of where I started finding videos that I found interesting for me. And one of them that has really sticked out, that actually my theater teacher back in high school showed me, was the Nicholas brothers, that tapping video. That video gives me life. And we as Black women, as Black people, period, we're just so powerful. And looking at that video, I have yet to see something as amazing as that. And that video definitely continues to push me to do better. And no matter how many people try and knock me down, that video is just a great example of like what we are capable of, and definitely what I look forward to. Another one, great, Beyonce. Her show, Homecoming, I watched that, and just hearing all the different pieces that she was adding in, all of the background information that not only did she do behind the scenes, but that she brought to the movie. She wanted to show everyone how important it was to put our history, to just how important it was to make sure this was as perfect as it can be. And, that's Black excellence. So I was blown away by that performance. No one can put one on like her. It was just amazing. So those two definitely keep my head looking forward, and I'm ready for whatever I have to bring to the table.
If there was one thing that you had to say to the American theater right now, what would that be? We'll start with Arielle.
Okay. Well, I just have to say that the era for there only being room for traditional, aka white in the mainstream, is over. The eliminating of racism in theater it's not up for debate. I guess now that everyone has like woken up, it's extremely bad for business. Yes, bad for business to mistreat, overlook, and exclude your non-white counterparts. So get with the program, and just be our co-conspirators in anti-racism. Theater may be struggling through the challenges of this time right now, but we should all and must come out of this better when we return.
Yeah, we're literally shut down. There's no reason to not change everything.
You have the time.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Tychelle? What you got to say?
Well, many will say, and I'm a firm believer, that Black women are the most disrespected people on earth. And so I know that I am enough. I've been taught that, and I have gotten to the point where I know that who I am is who I am. And so when it comes to, let's say, Broadway or any big place that we dream to go to, if you can't see that I'm great, I will shine with or without you. So whether or not I'm gonna have to go somewhere else and try and be better, but my main thing is broaden your viewpoints, expand what you have seen time and time again, and see what we really are worth. We deserve equality. That's my main point. And so I won't believe it until we see it, but let's impart that in all aspects of theater and see diversity more and more.
Right. We deserve that equality, and we deserve the credit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Thank you guys for meeting with me. And now we're going to segue to the next portion of the concert. We're going to do some dissolving hands. Do some. Oh.
I just don't see how a world that makes such wonderful things could be bad.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm a girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here, you think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see them dancing, walking around on those, what's that word again? Oh, feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down the, what's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Betcha on land they understand, bet they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand, ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers, like what's a fire and why does it, what's the word? Burn, when's it my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore that shore above? wish I could be part of that
Awful sweet to be a little butterfly, just swinging over things and nothing deep inside. Nothing going wild in you know. You're floating by the riverside, or floating high and blue, or maybe cool to be a little summer wind, like once through everything and then away again, with a taste of dust in your mouth all day, but no need to know. Like sadness, you just sail away, 'cause you know I don't do sadness, not even a little bit. Just don't need it in my life, don't want any part of it. I don't do sadness, yeah, I've done my time looking back on it all, and it blows my mind. Don't do sadness, so in there, don't do sadness, just don't care.
Spring and summer, every other day. Blue wind gets so sad, blowing through the thick corn, through the bales of hay, through the open books on the grass. Spring and summer, sure, when it's autumn, wind always wants to pick up and haunt you, whistling it's got you. Through heartache and its sorrow, winter wind sings and it cries. Spring and summer, every other day. Blue wind gets so pained, blowing through the thick corn, through the bales of hay, through the sudden drift of the rain. Spring and summer.
Or maybe I should be some kind of laundry line, hang their things on me, and I will swing dry. You just wave in the sun in the afternoon and then see they come to set you free beneath the rising moon. 'Cause you know
Spring
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really hope that you enjoyed the concert and that you have been inspired to support people of color in theater and people of color in general around the world. And we need change now. And you being here means that you're open to it and that you support it. And now all that you need to do is be vocal about it, because that's what we're doing here, performing, being vocal about it, and using our love for theater as a form of activism, which theater has always been intended to do and has always been able to do. So good night, and thank you so much for coming.